going over there in China.
Ooh, great point.
Yeah,
Why isn't he there right now?
He could be the king of China.
Absolutely. Dwayne Wade already has a shoe empire there. Deion Waiters, go be your best self in China. Today's number, 93.4. That is the average passer rating for NFL quarterbacks so far this year. Is this quarterback-friendly shift good or bad for football?
All right, so I feel like I've seen people do a correlation thing this year, and as you see, these are the comparisons. I mean, there's no
noticeable.
But there's no way that Drew Brees can stay at 122. Like, some of these numbers do seem to be unsustainable in that way. But, like, I don't think the higher ratings are tied to the fact that they've made passing so easy, right? But they have made this where anybody can do it, it feels like, right? You're still going to have the guys that make the back-breaking decisions, and that's going to be the separator between the good and great. But, man, it just doesn't feel like this is what it's supposed to be.
No, Tom Brady, yesterday we talked about him complaining or at least pejoratively referring to the college nature of the NFL, and it is easier to come out of college and play in the NFL. It is easier to complete 70% of your passes. The death of the pro-style offense has meant that all of these guys have a lot more room, a lot more space to pass to, Bo. That is, I think, a totally fair observation.
Yeah, but I feel like you're attributing it to the change in offense, and that's probably part of it. There's also the fact that you can't hit the guys anymore.
Well, that's the other part.
Right, like that's the part that gets me. It's not about the change in offense. I'm fine with that. It's the idea that you put the force field around the quarterback, and that substantively changes what the game of football is. And I don't think that's necessarily going to be something that people want from here on out. We like violence.
But I wonder if people like offense more than they like violence, because you're right, the rules have changed, and what's happened is the middle of the field, right, is now totally open for people to throw to, and that's
But based on what? But what makes people, what is this argument that people want the offense more than they want the violence? Based on what? Because I don't think that this is a linear relationship necessarily. At some point you go too far. So, like, how much more offense do we need? That is the question.
Yeah.
Was anybody watching football and just being like, you know what the problem is? We just don't have enough scoring.
I think that is part of it. I think it's that baseball thing of, right, people want to see the dinger.
But I'm asking this, people are saying, hey man, we're taking away this physical element of the game.
And that is true.
Who have you heard say we don't have enough offense? Like, I feel like that's just a solution to think the league thinks will fix anything. We'll just give them more points.
Yeah,
I'm not sure that works.
Juice the ball, I think, is the logic, but I get your point. In closing, look, I know I've been a Debbie Downer on the basketball skills of LeBron James's children, or at least Bronny in specific, and arguably a hater. But I want to wholeheartedly endorse LeBron's latest parenting revelation. He allows his sons to sip wine with dad. Here he is saying, quote, "My 14 and 11-year-olds drink wine. That's how mature they are. They'll be driving next week too," end quote. Bo, this is, I think, the first recorded moment where LeBron is embracing his French heritage. This is the European model to parenting, isn't it? A little sip of wine with your dinner isn't a bad thing.
Well, we don't know how much wine they're actually sipping as this goes. I actually think, whether he realized it or not, he's doing them boys a favor, and here's why. He's making sure that these boys know better. And what I mean by know better is that most of us had a stretch in life where we did not know better. And you know what that led to us doing? Drinking stuff like Mad Dog, drinking stuff like Boone. Now these boys are gonna know quality wine before they have to go out here and explore. And the first person to be like, "Hey, Bronny, want some of this Mad Dog?" He ain't gonna be here for that Mad Dog. He's like, "No, I need a cab, a 1983.
That's right.
That's what he's gonna be saying.
Yes, they are far more familiar with Napa Valley as opposed to Bumpy Face.
Yes, yeah. Not wine, but close enough.
Yeah.
Ooh, boy, don't drink Bumpy Face. Just FYI, PSA. In closing, I'd like to ask you guys how you decide which animals give you so much support that you need to take the damn critter on the airplane. And I asked this because some woman tried to bring her emotional support squirrel on the plane. A squirrel. That's actual vermin, man. Don't those things have rabies? And look, if it does the trick, that's fine. Just tell me how you found out the squirrels brought you peace. When did you realize squirrels feel something inside you? How did we get to this point? Oh, and here's video of the lady disembarking the plane.
We have footage of this?
This is her getting off the plane. I'm assuming she got the squirrel with her. And look at this, man. She feels like she's been wronged by this. Yeah, she gave him the bird. She gave him the bird because they wouldn't let her bring a rabid squirrel on the plane.
I respect
But
this
I want to
lady.
know, how did you know? Did you go like find a squirrel and pick it up and hug it and be like, all of a sudden I'm whole? How did you do this?
Squirrel call, man.
What?
You don't grow up in the city, you got squirrels? Call them.
Is next.